One step beyond you. Only one step. Only one step.
Hi, I'm Erica Gillis, and welcome to One Step Beyond You podcast, home of motivation and inspiration. Each week we have different guests on here that will motivate and inspire you onto the next level of your life. I want you to join me in welcoming my next guest. He's the CEO and founder of Avengers Youth Foundation. Let's welcome Edward Dean.
How you doing, Erica?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me on your show. I've heard a lot about your program, your show, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you came.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, because I wouldn't have a show if I didn't have any guests.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I like to start all my podcasts out by letting everybody know how we met.
Awesome.
And so you can share.
Well, I was speaking to a friend of mine by the name of Ken Dandridge, who's over Change Me company, and he was telling me how awesome you were, the podcast you have going on, and that we need to actually meet. And from that, I got a phone call from you because I told him to give you my information. I got a phone call from you, and that's how we met. And I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
But you have a program called Adventures. Can you tell us about the program?
Yes, it's called Avengers Youth Mentoring Organization. We started 8 years ago. We actually just celebrated our 8th year anniversary in April. It came from just a thought. I used to be the parent president at my daughter's school, and I had my godsons I was watching as well. And while I was going up there, I stay after school and teach after school step, and then take the kids to the park and throw the football around with them.
Okay.
And it just went from a regular everyday outing to the park. And before I know it, one of the kids said, well, Mr. Dean, we should do this regularly. Mm-hmm. And from that, I just went home and, I don't know, God just laid on my heart, that I should start a program. But I didn't have a clear vision of what that program was.
Okay.
So it started off with a basketball team, and I would ask the principal of the school, can we use her gym on 1 or 2 days a week just to practice basketball? Mm-hmm. And then we would go and compete in another city, which was Highland Park. Mm-hmm. So it was just a awesome thing. He had 13 guys, got the janitor who was there and asked him, did he want to coach basketball? And from there, we had a nice basketball team.
Right.
But in that process, I found out more was needed.
Yeah.
It was just 13 kids, and then from there, more started saying, Mr. Dean, what about this? Mr. Dean, what about that? Mr. Dean. So then I went and talked to my father and told him I'm interested in really going big with this organization piece. Mm-hmm. And he said, son, I got your back. If this is what you want to do, do it. Okay. And from there, it was just a lot of hard work and resources. So hard work that I thought was going to be easy. Yeah. And it ended up being extremely hard. Right. But that's what drove my passion. Yeah. Knowing that this is needed for the kids and there's obstacles to get through. Yeah. And every time I knew it was a wall there, I wanted to learn how to beat the wall. Okay. And constantly self-learning, reading and studying, finding stuff that I never got in school, outside of the basics, like what a thesis statement is or how to write a paragraph. From there, it evolved and we ended up getting the paperwork and becoming a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, maybe you can. I want to do a nonprofit, but I want to do it for the domestic violence and abuse, so that I can do more to help out the ladies. Like when I mentioned to the ladies at church and work that this is what I'm doing, I got a car full of clothes. Yeah. I got people like, I got you some more clothes. So I do take them to the shelter, but my schedule is so busy. If you don't take them before a certain time, then you can't drop them off. And I don't want to drop them off in the boxes. You know how they have the boxes that's in the parking lots? Because I want to make sure that people actually get to use and wear them, or somebody that's in need, opposed to them taking them and putting them in a resale shop where somebody else have to buy them. I want them to go to good use.
Every year when we first started our program, we used to do a holiday giveaway at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And what we did is we got gently used used and new items. We'll go on Craigslist and find a lot of old stuff that people are throwing away but still look good. We'll get a U-Haul truck and go and pick up all this stuff and put it inside this big room, make sure it's cleaned up. We'll have food there. We'll have clothing that people that outgrew, and we just put them neatly in different sections. And we invite people in and let them eat hot chocolate right before Christmas and sit to the side inside this room, and then we'll open up the doors and just let them take what they want.
Wow.
And we did have limits as it relates to the toys based on the number of people in the family.
Okay.
But it was organized and it was structured.
Right.
And it just felt good. My daughter was in the process of this with me. Just felt good to be able to give something that we don't use anymore.
Right.
Instead of throwing it on the streets, somebody else want that, and that becomes a treasure in their home.
Absolutely.
So what you saying you want to do, I think is phenomenal. And I think you got the heart and passion to go for it. I mean, I just think that's phenomenal. We need more people to get involved.
Yes.
I was telling a young lady today when we was talking about how things are so bad going on in the city, and she had made a comment that they are putting what they want down here, and I kind of asked her, let's back up a little bit, because these are our children. These are our people. We can't get mad when someone come in that don't understand our culture,
right,
and start building for what they only know how to build for.
Right.
We have to take care of our own children. It comes with us coming together. Right. So you talking about getting out there to build, to help to those in need, I applaud you, and I'm excited to see the outcome.
Thank you. Yeah. So do you guys still do the annual event?
So this is something we're looking to implement again this year.
Okay.
We stopped 2 years ago. Okay. The reason why is because we had to change locations. And anytime you're partnered up with someone's building, you have to adhere to their rules and policies. Absolutely. So in order for us to do those holiday giveaways, we had to be able to store stuff in almost a week or 2 or 3 days earlier, because then we got to clean up, we have to organize it, and certain places don't allow you to do those things. So we had to stop. Not that we don't want to, we just looking at this beautiful partnership we have now with Durfee Innovation Society. Okay. We're looking to be able to do more than just our summer camp there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you talk about obstacles, but can you share a little bit more about what kind of obstacles that you had to face when you started Avengers?
Right. So number one, outside of self-teaching, I had to be consistent. Okay. And being a father at that time, it was 8 years ago, my daughter was fairly young. So she required a lot of attention. I had to continue to go to her school as well, because I was reading in her school and being involved in school. And still, I would be at home all night trying to build this vision. I mean, it was times I didn't even have internet. Okay. And I would get up and go sit at the local Tim Hortons for hours at a time just to put my vision on paper. Okay. And without a desk, bad computer, sometimes a computer takes hours to go load up when you got an old computer. And I was that patience to sit there, because you have a thirst for this passion God has laid on you, and you know that the need is important because these babies depend on you. So them all nights stand up was a very big obstacle. And then trying to write grants for programming, seeking people that you can trust, that's getting involved because they want to help and not take over. These are some of the obstacles I dealt with, but my passion for the program don't change. So people change, but that thirst and that passion won't change. So all I did is continue to pray that God send me the right people, and I was able to sift out those and still love them. And some of them left and came back because it was it's no bad blood when you don't want to be involved. And And when you ready to be involved, come on. That's because these babies need us.
Yeah.
And then that was the obstacle. Them pretty much the obstacles I've dealt with in fundraising.
Yeah. Now, I've never done really a fundraiser other than maybe like, you do raffle tickets or whatever. But how is it to do a fundraiser?
Well, right now we're doing a fundraiser at Comerica Park. I've been trying to do this fundraiser for the last 4 years. And in order to do this fundraiser, you have to, number one, be a nonprofit 501c3.
Okay.
And then you have to have at least 10 committed volunteers. 10 committed volunteers to sign up and say, and you got to have your insurance, but say our organization is looking to raise money for XYZ. Whatever you're raising money for. You submit them your paperwork. They submit you a letter saying that you need to come and bring all your volunteers to select any training day you want. They have a whole list of training dates. And you bring your volunteers in there and you train one day, and then from there you go inside and you actually work a concession stand.
Okay.
And you have to commit to at least 10 games. So it's a job.
Wow.
But it's a job for the future.
Right. Absolutely.
So every year I fell short of getting committed volunteers. So this year, with our summer camp being in this, we've been in business 8 years. The summer camp been in celebrating the 7th year of summer camp.
Okay.
And we were constantly falling short, feeling like we losing money because we was trying to offer this free summer camp.
Okay.
But we couldn't afford to continue to offer it as a free camp.
Right.
So we broke it down to a cost of $45 a week, which is $270.
Right.
But we also threw an early bird special out. And the early bird was $40 a week. And but we also included a sponsorship part. Meaning that if you can't afford to put your baby in this camp because due to poverty, sign up and join us in this Comerica Park fundraiser.
Okay.
And if you just volunteer for 5 games, 2 of your kids get in for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? So because we want to make it where, it's no way you can, you can't put your kid in the program that you want to put in.
Right.
But it was deadlines because we had so many times before they closed, but we get in there and we work.
Yeah.
And when I was there, and I don't want to be too long on this, but when I was there, I noticed something. It's a lot of suburban communities or organizations that come into the city, and they come 15, 20, 30 people to work these concessions, and we struggle just getting teams.
Right.
And we need the help.
Yes.
They get, I'm not saying they don't either.
Right.
By all means, all of us need it. But they are more supportive to come together. And then when you go into, like, when I go to the track meets and stuff out there, their parents are heavy involved. All them extra amenities you get out there, that's them parents.
Yes.
And if the parents just come together like that,
yes,
we would have been able to knock these 10. And then if you do more than 10 games, they give you bonus tips, bonus donations. So they contribute a certain percent off of what you make a day,
right? And
they send it to your bank account weekly.
Wow.
So this volunteer, we are going to be able to send. I think we got 10 to 15 kids that's going summer camp free.
Wow.
Because myself, along with these parents that love these babies and these volunteers that love these babies, are up there saying, we're going to do this. Although this is a work, although I may be up in age, although my legs may be hurting, but our babies deserve the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
absolutely. I feel your passion. That's all right. That's all right. And so the summer program, what all is entailed in the summer program for the kids?
So this year by far is going to be the best summer camp we've had.
How so?
Every year we try to implement workshops, but it's just the kids come, if they want to do a garden workshop or create with cake, because we had a create with cake where you was able to make what you want out of fondant. And we had all these different workshops, but we found out we were putting kids in areas that they had no interest in.
Okay.
And what they end up doing, what they'll disturb the ones that like it. So we'll have the whole camp in drumline.
Okay.
Our camp hosts 100 to 150 kids.
Wow.
So we'll put all these kids in drumline, but only 7 or 8 kids is interested in drumline.
Okay.
So what we did is we broke it down this year. We got, and we want to keep we want to add an educational component.
Okay.
The purpose for the summer camp was social involvement, getting the kids out of the house, learn how to play and organize play with other kids, and do big games like Duck Duck Goose and Red Light Green Light and Mr. Fox and Fox. Those good games.
Right.
And but we found out the kids were playing, they were having a great time.
Yeah.
But they would just go home and tired without that knowledge. So what we did this year, we listened to our parents. Parents wanted an educational component, so this year we're going to have a robotics program.
Okay.
So in this, certain kids have signed up for the robotics. We got a videography program where kids is going to learn how to do videography, and at the last day of the summer camp, they're going to present a commercial for our organization. Learn how to cut hair. So it's going to be a guy out there teaching kids how to cut hair. We have DJ, learn how to be a DJ.
Okay.
So we learn DJ. We have gardening. We have a poetry. We have a girls workshop. We have all of our sports, basketball, all these workshops we implemented, and the parents was able to have a conversation with their kids and select what workshop they want their child to be in.
Okay.
And with that being said, now kids are in something they want to be in, and it's not a strain on the people that's conducting these workshops.
Right.
And these kids are actually engaged in something they want to do. And when they leave the summer camp, they leave with not only new friends and a fun summer experience, they leave with a trade.
Yeah.
You can start cutting hair in your backyard, in your basement, and you see. So these kids will be able to leave summer camp and probably start making money immediately.
Right. See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of like Job Corps.
Yes, ma'am.
That the kids leave, and I think that's a good program because everybody don't want to go to college.
Right.
I've learned that you have to meet people where they're at.
You have to meet them where they're at.
You can't make them come to where you are or make them be something that they're not.
Right.
But if you meet them where they at and ask them what they want to do, then you can move on from there.
Exactly.
And so I think that's very powerful that you help the kids to find their niche.
Yes, ma'am.
So to speak.
And in all honesty, doing so is still engaging them into that learning curve.
Okay.
Like I was saying when I started the business, although I did take college classes and it was really good for me, but when I started it, I found myself learning more so that I can accomplish my vision.
Right.
So I was taking college classes at home on my computer.
Okay.
I was just surfing the web, doing the same stuff that they teach in college. I didn't have a professor grilling me or giving it to me, but I still was taking college classes.
I did my associate's degree online.
Yeah.
And so it was, for me, I couldn't, I still had to work. I still had to be, I was stay at home. I'm a single mom. So, but I still wanted to get my education. And after having such a rough part from, I didn't go back to college until I was 35 years old.
Oh, okay.
And so
Awesome.
at age 19, I tried to go to college and I got really sick. And it was final exam day. I got really sick. And at that time, I had real bad migraines.
Okay.
And it was like I had 4 episodes to where first I would lose my vision, then I would have spots come across my eyes, and then the pain was so severe I just couldn't withstand anything. Then I would get nauseated, and the nausea was so bad that I would vomit, but I would vomit from 4 to 6 hours.
Oh wow.
But then my body would be cold and it would get hot until I passed out on the bathroom floor.
Okay.
And so this is when my family came and picked me up and put me in a bed, and I stayed there for 1 to 2 days, and it just seemed like the whole world just went right past me because I couldn't accomplish anything in that 2 days. But I was in college and I got up and I'm going to school to take my final exam, and that day I go downstairs, I open the door, and the sun comes in and it pierces my eyes.
Okay.
And right there was the onset of that episode, and so I wasn't able to go to school and take my exam. But back then you couldn't call your professor and say, hey, I got a migraine, I can't come to make final exam. That wasn't an excusable diagnosis back then.
Right.
So now that they learn so much about migraines, I was just like, people can use it. You can use FMLA for it. But so that's why at 35 years old, I went back to college because as I got older, the headaches subsided. And so I no longer get them anymore. But I thank God for that. You know what I mean? So online school is a good thing. So.
Right. But what I was saying about the online school, I wasn't actually in college.
Right.
at that particular
Okay.
moment. What I was learning is the same thing that was being taught in college as it relates to an entrepreneurship goal.
Right.
So had I been in the class or even an online class, I would have still had a order to follow, whereas I knew what I wanted to do. So instead of following these orders, I just went straight to the lesson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then too, because you had a dream, and one step beyond, you started by a dream. But I learned that if you surround yourself with
visionaries,
that's right, leaders and coaches and people that's above here, then you're not going to go anywhere but up here.
Right.
And so I remember watching Lisa Nichols. And she broke me down. I was crying so bad. Oh, she broke me down. I was like, I'm broken too. Somebody fix me. But she talked about her episode on when she went on the Oprah Winfrey show, and Oprah had asked her how many coaches do she have. I think she said she had 2. Okay. So she said at the break, she asked Oprah, how many coaches do you have? And she was like, Oprah said, I got 5. And so she said after the episode was over, she got on the phone and she, got more coaches. And so literally I have like 4 or 5 coaches in my life. And this is just like starting out from the dream to where I am, and I'm steady adding more. Exactly. But they're leading me in the right direction. Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, when somebody really is concerned about your passion, they are actually rooting for you to succeed. Absolutely. So we're going to take a time out for our sponsor. All right. And then when we come back, we'll finish talking about some more about your program and how people can get involved in helping you, and if they want to be a sponsor, stuff like that. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right.
Running a small business can be exciting but very challenging. Most people start a business because of a passion they have, but they soon realize keeping up with invoices, tracking revenues and expenses, staying organized, and marketing and sales support can be extremely chaotic. I see you nodding your head. At Globadime Consulting, our mission is your success. We focus on all the things you don't want to do, so you can do what you love to do. After all, that's why you're in business. We offer a wide range of services, including bookkeeping and financial services, branding and marketing services, business strategy and mastermind sessions. So get in touch with us today for a free 30-minute business consultation and an expense tracking worksheet.
Well, welcome back. We took a break out for our sponsors, and we're back with Mr. Dean, and we're going to talk some more about Avengers. And if someone wanted to be a sponsor, how would they go about being a sponsor to the program?
Well, all they got to do is go to our website, which is www.avegersteam.org. Okay. So that's Avengers, like superhero.
Yes.
Team.org.
Okay. I like that. You gotta be a superhero to deal with all these kids. That's awesome. And so also, if I wanted to be a volunteer and come and help out with the summer program or whatever program, what do I need to do to be a volunteer?
The same way, go straight to the website. There's a link where you can click on and say, I want to become a volunteer. Mm-hmm. And then we do a background check on you and things of that nature. We're always looking for someone to volunteer. During our summer camp, we can use someone to help serve food to the kids. Mm-hmm. We can use people to help coach basketball or baseball, or just engage with the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna coach basketball, but I will get out there and play basketball.
All right.
Because even though I look all girly, I like to fish, play ball, play football. Having 2 boys, you gotta be able to. That's awesome. And so, you guys are in need of donations for the program as well?
Well, yes, we always are looking for donations. Donations help us continue to grow and continue to do things. Like right now, we're seeking donations to help us implement the holiday giveaway again. Okay. And then we also have the Harvest Festival as well. So donations are always important. Mm-hmm. And they can go to our website as well and hit the Donate Now button. Mm-hmm. And, we are a nonprofit 501c3, so all donations are tax deductible, and they will receive a receipt.
Oh, okay.
And they can, donations, they can, depending on the level of sponsorship, they can get their name included in an event that's taking place and be advertised as well.
Because some of I've seen on your website that you got my favorite people, Better Made, as one of your sponsors. And so how did you come about getting Better Made as a sponsor?
I just actually contacted the people from Better Made. I walked in there, found out who I talked to. I sent an email and said, this is what we're trying to do. And they responded and they supported our event. Same with Marathon, which is a big contributor, wonderful contributor. The Ice Company, things of that nature. I mean, there is funding, or some places don't give money, but they do give in-kind donations, which is awesome because the money we ask for is to purchase the things that we're giving out.
Absolutely.
So anything is great because we deal with a lot of kids. We have over 96 kids registered already in our summer camp. So somebody just recently donated us, I think he said 1,000 waters. Oh, wow. Bottled water, so the kids can have bottled water during the summer time because it gets hot.
Yes.
So I mean, it's just a blessing when people step in and say, I'd like to make a contribution to help you continue to be a positive influence in our community.
Right. Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, and I'm so glad that God gave you this vision and this dream to help out the youth, because so many of our youth are lost and they need to find themselves or find a way, or they are just in families that just don't have the resources to give their kids the things that they want and need. And so that's a good thing that you are helping out the youth.
Thank you.
That's kudos. So that's awesome. But as we get ready to close our podcast, I would like for you to look into the camera and say something motivational and inspirational to someone who just might be in need of some extra motivation.
Awesome. So I would like to say to you parents out there, especially you single ones out there, I know it's extremely hard trying to raise children, by yourself. We at the Avengers organization would love to help you, help to be a part of your child's life, give the positive influence that they need so they can be successful, and have you a part of our team as well so that you can help us make better programs for the kids. So if you want to get involved, just go to our website, or you can email me at edwarddean@avengersteam.org. EDWARDDEAN @AVENGERSTEAM.org. Let's make the city a better place with your involvement.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm coming.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm coming. Y'all will see me, and I'm bringing the cameras too. Like we were talking earlier, I was like, but maybe we could do something towards the end of the program, and if the parents are okay and sign the video release, we can kind of just do a documentary or something of the program and turn it into a podcast, and just so that people can see that in the city of Detroit we're still doing good things, and we're keeping our kids moving forward and not standing behind. They're not standing. We want them to have the best.
The best.
Absolutely. And the only way they can get it is if we help them
get it.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was powerful.
Thank you.
Man, that was awesome. So, I mean, thank you for being a guest on my podcast. Your energy, I just love it. I love it. I could talk to you all day.
Yes, ma'am.
But we only got 30 minutes. So we And wow, so yeah, you heard what Mr. Dean said. If you guys want to help out, you can go on the website and reach out to him, and you can see all the things that he has to offer. And I'm just blown away. But as I end every podcast, that I just want you guys to always know, and just remember, it only takes just one step beyond you.